Pastor Godfrey's house, and I said this, where are you? That was the question God asked Adam when he was looking for them. It wasn't that God didn't know where Adam was standing, because God has a blueprint of the entire universe in his hands. So God knows everyone where they are, what they're doing, what you're growing and not growing. So if you're hiding, you're running somewhere, you're thinking, I can hide over here. God is not seeing me. When God comes and says, hey John, where are you? It's not like he doesn't know where you are. He knows exactly where you are and what you are doing. The only thing he wants you to do is to acknowledge that, oh, this is where I'm standing at. This is where I am. You may be standing in a pit of mud. You don't even realize it because you were busy running from God. You don't even know. And God said, where are you? Then when you look, I said, where am I? And you look down. I'm standing in the mud. He wants you to realize for yourself where you are. The wisdom of God went to ask, let me look for my son. Let me look for the man I created. The wisdom of God didn't stop there. The wisdom of God went on and said, okay, now I'll find you. How can I establish my relationship back with you, Adam? I'm going to do what? I'm going to put together a tunic. My sister-in-law here liked to put together dresses. My wife came here, we gave her material, and she was in a couple of days, the dress was ready. And she put it together one time, she did wear it back home, and she looked very lovely in it. It was a lovely dress from up here all the way down there. So a tunic covers from neck to all the way past the knee. This is the man who was naked. But let me tell you this, in that gap of nakedness, what did the man try to do with his wisdom? If you know the text, he went and grabbed the leaves. That was man's wisdom. Grab the leaves. I don't know if I can steal some of this, it's gonna fall somewhere here. Oh my Lord, my sister will kill me. But anyhow, I'll show you this. Grab some of this. These I believe they're real, it's not plastic, right? Okay. Grab some of this, I guess the bigger ones, these big ones here. And say, okay, if we have a problem, we just realize that our location is bad, our situation with that clothes. Let's fix it. Let's work our wisdom together. So let's get some leaves and sew them up and cover ourselves. They cut leaves. If you know anything about a leaf, you pull it out from its original place and you put it here, it's going to dry. Once it dry, the wisdom of man always dies. The wisdom of man will never gonna stay alive. You can never keep your wisdom alive. Whatever you do, your wisdom can ever be alive. Always dies. Because it's not plugged into the foundation. Amen. So God in his wisdom, he said, let me do this for you. I am going to plug you back into the foundation because you're disconnected by your own nonsense. So the way I'm going to do it, I am going to put together a tunic for you. A tunic is an animal skin that is put together as a piece of clothing from neck past below. So now, God in his infinite wisdom, look at the man, I'm going to cover your shame, not only partially, I'm going to cover your shame from top to bottom. The wisdom of God. So if we go with the wisdom of God, and we going to be plugged in for a long time. But not for only for a long time, God wants to make sure this. If you read the text, and if you think about this, wisdom is so important to God. And guess what God did? If there had to be an animal skin, that means what happened? had to die. Something had to die for you to get your share become.
Amen. Amen.
So God in his infinite wisdom already planned the salvation of Jesus Christ over here by standing in the garden and saying, I'm going to show you that there will be a Jesus Christ, but we're going to start with an animal here. I'm going to put my wisdom in action already in the beginning.
Amen.
If you want to see Christ, it's already been designed in the garden. Because something had to, that the blood had to be shed to be able to put our reconnection back with God.
Amen. 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 Amen.
So the wisdom of God always stand. Not only stand in the moment, not only stand for you. The wisdom of God will go for years on and on and on. And if you exercise the wisdom of God, you'll be plugged in for eternity. But you've got to exercise and apply his wisdom. And I'll be wrapping up in a little bit. Because we have a tendency sometimes to elevate people who have some form of knowledge. And please, I'm going to say this with all humility. Don't you ever try to elevate me because I'm nothing. Please, I want to walk with you so we can see God together. Because the reality is this: we have a tendency to look at people with thinking they have more knowledge than they're better than us. Then we just elevate them and idolize them. And we fail to realize that knowledge that he has, I can pursue God and I'll have some knowledge as well. I can pursue him. Wisdom go beyond and stand above everything. But wisdom, when it is applied with the context of understanding. A few points as we close. I cannot talk about wisdom like we talked about in James chapter 3. Wisdom, how you need to have peace. You gotta be peaceable, with wisdom. And wisdom, how Solomon wisdoms had to be spoken. Okay, you have to say the word had to come out of your mouth. That means wisdom was activated not only in here. The concept of knowing is not just for you to have it here, it's for you to articulate it out. So whatever we have, I always say, even at church back home, whatever you have is not for you. It is to go through you. You're just a pipeline to let the Spirit of God and the wisdom of God flow through you. So somebody, like my pastor said, somebody's waiting for you to speak into their lives so that they can be activated. And you're just waiting and blocking everybody else's. That's because you're not opening up the pipeline. To the wisdom of God, I cannot talk about wisdom without talking about what we say. James warns us so clearly about what's coming out of your mouth. You gotta bridle that tongue. How sharp is your tongue? Do you somebody just tapped you a little bit and you snap, you go into this mode? Do you just easily turn around and cuss at people just because? Do you just easily turn around and start gossiping just because? What's coming out of your mouth? Because it's supposed to be the wisdom of God, not the gossip of God. Come on. It's supposed to be the wisdom of God, not the hatred coming out of your mouth. If we need to